got earnings and a lot of them on our radar. Rainbow Childrens Medicare, the first management on the show. The company has reported a healthy set of second quarter numbers. The occupancy improved, but the average revenue per occupied bed declined. Ramesh Kancharla, who's the chairman and managing director of the company, joins in. Thanks a lot, Mr. Kancharla, for joining in. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Wish you, your team, and your families, all of them, are very, very happy. Season's greetings from our team here at CNBC TV 18. It's a healthy performance that you've reported in the second quarter. However, the third quarter, because of festive reasons, is typically slower in a business like yours. If you could give us a sense, from the halfway mark to the next half, what kind of improvement are you expecting in both average revenues per occupied bed and the occupancy?
Thank you, Mangalam, and wish you happy Diwali and the CNBC team. So you just to the occasion today. So the second quarter has gone very well, as I guided earlier, the whatever kind of forecasting. I think we are halfway through. I think it's looking good, and as we move forward, I think we continue to do well in the third and fourth quarters. So we look at probably kind of halfway. Probably second half will be a little more better than first half. So we achieve our whatever is our budgeted numbers and the street expectations to the year end. This is how we look at it. I think our business is actually pretty good this year. I mean, compared to the last year has been a kind of a slack. There was no season. So this year, this overall, I mean, 360 degrees business is improved. When you've seen the lot of, when you look at occupancy is about 59%, which is the highest ever occupancy, and the lots of seasonal business. Whenever there is a seasonal business is very high, and obviously the RPOPs will get settles to kind of a lower because of the low ticket bills, most of them. So we had about 32% of the kind of the pediatric business. That's why the RPOPs are lowered. And as we move forward, I think that quarter three and quarter four, towards quarter four, RPOPs will improve to the normal.
If you could just, building on what you earlier said, Mr. Kancharla, first half 20% revenue growth. You said second half will be slightly better. So what do you end this year with on the top line? Occupancies at 59% were high because of seasonal business. So where do they settle at by the end of this year? And the RPOPs, you said will move back to normal range. What is that normal range that we're looking at, say, in March 2025 when we speak? Just these three numbers. Revenue growth?
We had
go ahead.
54,000 RPOP earlier year. I think we'll probably move towards 54,000. The occupancies may be kind of, may stay around the same, may lower a little bit, but the quality of business will improve as we move forward to the third and fourth quarters. So that's what we expect it. And I wouldn't think that, the occupancy grows further. And this is the peakest occupancy, what we would expect. When you look at our mature hospitals, have done highest ever occupancies, which is beyond our kind of guidance, 68%. Even the maturing hospital, 43%. That's because of the lots of footfalls, lot of seasonal illness, which is amounting to this kind of occupancies. But the business gets better, the payer mix gets better as we move to the third quarter and fourth quarter. So that's why I'm expecting it to be kind of a revenue will be slightly more than higher than the first half. So overall, I think we'll probably end up in around the 1,550 crores, around that figure.
Mr. Kancharla, good afternoon. Festive greetings to you, your team and your family from all of us here at CNBC TV 18. I wanted to talk to you about your margins, sir. You mentioned your margins have been flat on a year-on-year basis, been 35% this time around. They were 35% last year, but sequentially they have improved. Do you see those margins remaining at that trend going forward, or do you see some near-term volatility because of the fact that there is some additional cost for your newer units?
I think that if you go back and see the first quarter, the margins were kind of compressed because of the addition of the new beds. And as kind of almost kind of in the second quarter, first half of the year, we come closer to the last year's margins. I think that we are kind of clocking at the highest ever margins. I don't think the margins would improve, but year on year we're adding beds. As long as we keep our margins around kind of a pre-Ind AS EBITDA about 27%, we will kind of, that's what we expect normally. We do see a little bit of a couple of percentage of higher EBITDAs in the seasonal quarters. The overall, our guidance has always been about 25 to 27% of the EBITDAs on the pre-index basis. The post-index all depends on how much rental is there.
All right. Let's talk about expansion as well. What are the new hospitals which are coming on stream over the next 1 year? How much would that increase your revenues by? And the other part is that you were also looking at some sort of inorganic opportunities, right? Have you closed in on something? Any geography in particular?
Yeah, we haven't actually. We've been in discussions. I think it's too early to talk about acquisitions. However, we are open about it. We keep actually looking at those opportunities, but when appropriate times, I would definitely discuss with you. In terms of the new hospitals, in next 1 year time, we're going to have about 3 hospitals opened up. One is in Rajahmundry, is of 100 beds. In the 2 in Bangalore city, which are one is Ennore, as well as kind of Electronic City. These are about probably about 240 beds we're going to get open in next 1 year.
Mr. Kancharla, what about diagnostics, sir? What is the kind of potential that you are anticipating from that business going forward, sir?
I think our diagnostics is very specific to the children's. We are not looking at anything expanding the diagnostics space within the hospitals. However, as a premier children's hospital, so we always keep adding more and more to our kitty, whatever the kind of specialty diagnostics. So we become a kind of independent. If you look at our balance sheet, 1% of the revenue goes out to kind of outsourcing diagnostics. We are trying to capture more and more into our business.
All right. Just a final question before we let you go. This child development center that you opened in Hyderabad, what exactly is the addressable market expectation? Are we expecting some more of these CDCs coming up in the very near future?
I think that at least in the population, about at least 1.5 to 2% of children requires some degree of kind of either behavioral or psychological or even a kind of a rehabilitation needs. That's significant. That's quite a lot. I think we do not have really specific estimates, but the volumes, what is there in the community is very significant. At the moment, they're all going to kind of independent individuals. What we are trying to do is we're consolidating all the therapies for whatever is required for the neuromotor disabilities, as well as kind of a behavioral spectrum, especially things like attention deficit disorders and autism. These are significantly going up. I think this is the need of the hour to address these children and the parents.
Fair point, Mr. Kancharla. Thank you so much for joining in. Wish you good luck for the second half of the financial year and festive greetings once again to the management. Thank you, sir. That is the management of Rainbow Children Medicare. Time for a short break. Up next, we connect with the management of Green Panel Industries to discuss their quarter numbers and the road ahead. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.